Prof, do you feel like we are in a political legal quagmire?
I think so, and yeah, on this one I agree with Wakili here that it's quite interesting. I think for the first time, you know, we're having cases filed in the Supreme Court,
right?
And before they're even filed there, every Kenyan knows have these things on their phones, and are reading and so on. Yes, I think, and you can see the way that both sides have been conducting themselves. I mean, it's really been about playing to the court of public opinion, and I was just reflecting on this. I was saying, yeah, no wonder the sub judice bit was you know, introduced. But on the other hand, in a situation like this, where you know we are in the era of social media and fake news, as exactly well,
right.
And everybody playing to the gallery. So, I mean, you see the optics, you can actually see that this is actually meant for the general public and, you know, social media and so on. And at the same time, we actually have weighty issues in the court. Yeah, so I think this would be very, very interesting, the extent to which people stick to, you know, to the facts of the law and the facts of the case, and then, of course, on the other hand, the extent to which they play to the gallery, they play to their followers and so on. And there has been a bit of a personal concern, but I know it's not tenable in the current situation in this way that I've always said, but these guys most likely know the results. They did get information from all the polling stations. Forget about even what got into the system. And I've always said that one of them know that they lost. The other one knows that they actually won, everything notwithstanding. But thanks to Achilles here, even when I've stolen everybody's chicken and everybody saw me do it, the Wakilis come and tell me, Omenya, do not agree. We are going to go to court to give them the burden of proof.
Not steal it. It's in the Constitution. Presumption of innocence.
Exactly. So for some of us laymen, I mean, you know, we think is the other hand, we think the law should be clear. We think you know, situations should be straightforward and so on. But having said that, really, I mean, to be fair to both parties, in this particular instance, that for an election this close, then there's so many factors that would have resulted that would have given us a different result, and it is not surprising. It's okay that the aggrieved parties then go to the court. I always liken it with the football matches. That, I mean, if you actually lose a match, you know, by one goal, and that one goal was a penalty given by the referee in the last minute, you know, you're likely to contest the outcome of that match. But of course, I mean, if you lost, like he said very well here in the previous petitions, you know, if you lost by 8 goals, even if you're going, you're going outside there to whatever to contest, you're contesting it just, you know, to refine the rules to say no. I mean, the referee was a bit unfair, but you don't expect a different result. Right. So I think what really is gripping Kenyans around this particular case is that mere fact that it was very, very close. I know even within the media, it's one of those cases that you're tallying, and then at some point you are almost finished and the numbers are the same. You abandon the thing and run away. I might say something here that might actually, you know, be
someone should have made a prayer to compel the media to also release their results.
All right, Jim, I see where you're going.
Yes, so I think in this particular instance, just because of that closeness of the case, you find that everything then becomes material in terms of the potential outcome.
Okay, Jim.
So, I mean, ideally, I think all these guys are politicians at the end of the I mean, at least there's the Azimio side. And there are a lot of political futures that have been dented by the loss, perceived loss of Azimio. A lot of people have had serious dreams for themselves, and their political futures are at stake right now. Remember that campaigns are not just funded by politicians, but a lot of other individuals at the background who have vested interest. So for this case to end up at the Supreme Court, it is not just Raila Odinga contesting his, you know, saying he won or lost, but there are a myriad of other people behind him whose interests are also at stake in this particular poll. There are people, in the event that the court rules against Raila Odinga, what do we see them going to become a strong and formidable opposition, for instance? among this, let's call them principals, I know this time they didn't call them principals, who would make a formidable opposition leader? Would it still be Raila Odinga from outside of parliament? Would they nominate somebody to go inside of parliament and become the leader of opposition? Because I think it is the long game. Nobody here is playing the short game of, everyone is thinking there's an election in 2027 and all systems go. This is done and dusted. No matter, it's only, the court will decide one way or another, but 2022 is done and dusted. And everyone is preparing for 2027. Everyone is getting themselves ready. Those who want to be president are getting ready. Remember that they also have a bit of control and a bit of numbers in parliament, subject to some crossovers that we saw recently. And it will be interesting to see how do they now strategize beyond this case to start actually executing their mandate as either majority or minority in both houses of parliament. So I think it's a long game here for all of them who are going to court.